This is Noah. We have some Virtua Fighter news. I did a video on my channel a little bit ago talking about the announcement that SEGA had made about esports and Virtua Fighter. And it was more of a teaser than a real announcement, but we've got a little bit of substantiated news. I had seen people speculating about the announcement, namely Maximilian Dude wondering if it was going to simply be that SEGA was going to bring back Virtua Fighter 5, as opposed to a new title, which seems like an easier route for them to take, and I wondered that myself. And here, it seems that that speculation was accurate because we have gotten a kind of leak where a new version of Virtua Fighter was rated by the South Korean Gaming Rating Board, whatever that would be. Now, at first when I saw this news, I didn't even give it much attention. I had planned to cover it, but I wasn't super like, okay, this is interesting. I assumed it just meant they were porting the game and didn't look much into it. But the other day I started looking into it and I got a bit more excited and I learned some tidbits and I'm going to share these just because it's relevant-ish. The first thing is that the Virtua Fighter 5 console ports initially were vastly different. The Xbox 360 one featured online play because these console ports were based on the arcade versions, and the PS3 versus the Xbox 360 versions, the initial one, they were based on two different versions of the arcade release. One had online, one did not. So that's weird. The second thing is that the updated Xbox 360 and PS3 version that was digital only was not the most recent version of Virtua Fighter 5 that would be an arcade release. And turns out, when you can play Virtua Fighter 5 in some of the Yakuza titles in the arcades, it actually is that version. So technically speaking, the most recent version of Virtua Fighter 5 that you can play on a console is in the Yakuza titles. So that gave some extra level of credence to the idea that, like, before it was just like, oh, this is cool because this is technically the only modern way to play Virtua Fighter 5. But not only that, but it's the most recent release of it in terms of version. Anyway, back to why this is interesting is because when I was looking into that, I discovered that the name that was rated, Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate, I think, is not a version that exists. So it's not just a port to modern consoles, it is an update. And this sort of gives the impression that, okay, this is what they're doing. They're going to do esports with this. They're going to update the game, release it on modern platforms, and run that. So I think I might have speculated before that this could be them just testing the waters to see if they can reinvigorate the brand of Virtua Fighter to possibly give new titles. And it seems like that's the safer option rather than just going full force with a new game. And I respect that. That being said, I am excited because I didn't touch Virtua Fighter and Virtua Fighter 5 specifically. But now this is going to give me a greater opportunity than that of through Yakuza. What do you guys think about this? Will you be giving it a shot, or do you perhaps have thoughts to suggest that maybe this isn't all they're going to be doing? Leave it in the comments below, like the video, or dislike it if you think I'm trying to think of something that's not a slur. Cringe, thank you. If you think I'm cringe. This is Noah. That's Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate.
You're cringe.